Hola, hola. ¿Cómo están, amigos? Aquí hay una tijera. Hello, my dear friends. I was just finishing up with a video that I downloaded for the Spanish camp, and I was in the middle of the process, and I hear this little voice. You gotta go live again. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm sorry if you were waiting for me. Thank you so much. My name is Yavorsky. I'm the person behind Spanish Playdates, a program designed for early learners, early language learners. Here helping families and helping teachers into this process of growing bilingual children, helping them with these first steps, with these beautiful early years where everything can be like put into the seed of becoming better and better every day. So welcome. Today, for this week, not just today, for this week, I had scheduled questions and answers from my heart to all of those moms who have been reaching out, especially the new moms who are part of the group. We have a private group for moms that are working, daily in this process of teaching the language and passing the language to children. So in order for them to be part of our group, they have answered some questions. And one of the questions it's a simple question, but I'm going to read it to you. What is the most difficult thing to do when using and sharing the language with your kids? So I have one mom, she said that, I'm going to read it here. I'm not going to say the names for privacy, but I'm going to read, what she says. Well, one of the questions is what brings you to the group, right? I'm teaching my daughter Spanish at home, and she's from California. She's a mom, and her daughter is 2.5 years old. The most difficult thing for her is remaining disciplined to only speak to her in Spanish. Hola Maggie, hello, how are you? So we are answering today this question that she's teaching her daughter Spanish at home. She's 2.5 years old, and the most difficult thing for her is to remain disciplined. Now we know that being disciplined, it's kind of a key component in our life for something to be able to unfold or to happen. If we want to lose weight, we will have to be disciplined into eating the right food. If we want to have a good sleeping pattern for our children, we have to be disciplined into putting a schedule for them to go to bed, put in a little, routine that has to follow in order for the bedtime to happen. Being disciplined for, doing a school at home right now, because most of the schools are closed. If you need to catch up with schooling, you need to be disciplined and put in a time to sit down with your children and do the homeschooling. So discipline is part of our life. I consider that it's just what it is. Right? Now, regarding teaching a second language, it's a component that you will have to put in place. Now, what are the things that kind of make us think that breaking that discipline is just a doable thing or just not going to happen? Everything goes back to the desire that you really want. If you really want to accomplish a goal, you will make that time. You will put a little effort into that. You will become disciplined into speaking the language to your children. Now, there are two types of two types of scenarios, because there are some moms who already speak the language. Spanish is the native language, is their tongue language. And for other families, they maybe learn something, or they are married to somebody who speaks Spanish, and the husband doesn't have all the time to transfer the language to their children. So she really wants to teach them. And then this mommy, it's maybe afraid that she's not pronouncing it right. She's afraid that, how do you say that? She's afraid of that what is my child going to think that I'm speaking English instead of Spanish instead of English. So all this little self-talk for this kind of a scenario happens in the real life. It does. Now, for the mom who already speaks the language, you have a beautiful gift that you already own. It is yours. It is like, if you want to love your child, you give them hugs. If you want to have your child, if you want to love your child, you give them the right food. If you want to love your child, you schedule like a nap time, food, eating time and bedtime, because it's something that your child needs. And if you already know the language, it is a lot more easier for you to be able to use it. Maggie is saying something here. Let me read it, okay? So, did you delete that, Maggie? I was going to read what you were going to say. You were typing there. So what is the most difficult thing for you, Maggie? Tell me. You're explaining how I am. I don't speak much. Oh, come on. You already typed it. You're silly. Don't delete it because it's not just you. You know how I have here a list. Look, all of these are moms. I printed out all of the new moms who are in the group, and you rewrote it. Okay. These are new moms, and a lot of them have the same thing that you are experiencing. They are like afraid that they are not pronouncing it right. They are afraid that the child doesn't want to speak. They are afraid of being rejected. So it is a matter of discipline. When you have your child and you want to start something new for them, let's say like party training, what do? Do you think your child is going to go party really right away because you teach them the first time? No, what do? You have to do many things to convince your child that that's how you do it, right? So what do you put in place? What do you do every day? A little thing at the time, right? One little thing at the time without pushing it, but you still have a goal in mind. Might be 1 week, might be 3 months. But you still stick to it because what? You want your child to be able to go to the party every day, right? Without you being changing diapers all the time. So you have a goal in mind. It's the same thing with the language. You need to become disciplined. I need to learn Spanish myself. Do you teach big kids adults? You're so sweet. Yes, I teach big kids adults still. But don't wait for you to learn completely and have a broad information or a broad understanding of the whole language. Because you have children, and this is not just for you, Maggie, it's for any mom who might be watching and she's afraid that she doesn't know the language. You have children that are at the same level of language that you are. And that's a beautiful thing. You know why? Because you can learn at the same pace with them. You learn, you teach. You learn, you teach. You learn, you teach. And that is how the family starts growing together bilingually. Because let's say today, you say, well, today I'm going to learn how to say, I'm going to the bathroom. Or do you want to go to the bathroom? Maybe just one question, one sentence. You say, well, this is what I'm going to learn today. I'm going to practice this, and I'm going to tell my child this is what this means. So you learn it. You tell your child, this means let's go party. Vamos al baño. ¿Quieres ir al baño? Vamos al baño is a command. Let's go. All right, let's go to the bathroom. Do you want to go? ¿Quieres ir al baño? So two sentences that you can use it every day. Might be the first lesson for you and for your child, for your children. You have to. And if you repeat the same questions every day, ta-da, there is something magical that happens when you practice. It's just like a link. Everybody is going to go to the bathroom at least once every day. So you're going to use it. There is a study said that if you say something, or you practice something 21 times, that becomes a habit, and then it's done. It's synced into your brain. So two questions, that's it. One question, one sentence. And after that, you can keep adding. At bedtime, let's say you read a book to your child. You have a book. Let's see, I'm going to show you a book I have here. So to give you an example, to give moms an example. How do you make this a discipline? So this book, maybe you read books to your children at night. Yeah? This book is Este no es mi dinosaurio. And you just read it. If you don't know what tiene la cola áspera means, what are you going to do? Just read it and say, oh, okay. Tiene la cola áspera. What if you didn't pronounce it right? What do you think you can do if you didn't pronounce right what you are reading? What would you do? Would you ask your husband? Would you ask somebody who speaks Spanish? Would you ask Mr. Google? How about typing tiene la cola grande in Google and just request the English version or the Spanish version on how do you pronounce this in Spanish? So the tools or the resources are there for you, and it doesn't have to be big. Just one sentence. You didn't know what that means, and then you look for the answer, and then the next day you keep going. If you have vocabulary, it's a simple book. You have vocabulary and you just look for different the meaning of each word. So what happened there? You just learned something. You just learned a book. You just learned vocabulary. You just learned a structure, not as an instructor, but you already learned because you are memorizing those things. You read the same book 21 times. I guarantee you, after 21 times reading the same book, you will memorize this, and your child will know exactly what you are talking about. See? So don't wait until you think you know. Learn a little, teach a little. I remember somebody said, and I agree completely, that the best way for you to learn something is to teach it. Have you heard that? The best way for you to learn something is to teach it. Because you are putting all your senses and all your brain there. Because you are trying to understand. Once you get it, you try to teach it. So there are a lot of brain connection there, and it sinks, it happens. So that's one of the things you can do. Your husband might be able to help reading here and there, but I know how the daddies are. They're just once in a lifetime. This is more like a mom's type of job. So self-imposed job or self-imposed goal that if you want to do it, you just do it. You just find a way. So that's it. That's how you get discipline. Just to put some time, a little time a day. So what do you think will be a good time for you to do this? How about in the morning when you are getting breakfast ready? It could be there, 5-10 minutes. You get some flashcards, and then your children are sitting there and they're eating, and then you sit down too. You sit for about 10 minutes at the table, and you are eating, and you get the flashcards. Oh, perro, gato, o el niño, los abuelos, la mamá, and you show the picture. Boom, 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 boom. The child is eating, and you keep showing. Next day, next breakfast, another 5 minutes. Get the same stack of cards. Oh, abuelo. Yeah, ta-da, 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 ta-da. Third day, breakfast time. Sit down, 5 minutes. Go through the same flashcards. You are making yourself a favor because you are learning, and you are making him learn at the same time. After that, maybe after 3 or 4 times, maybe you can play a little game. They are eating, and then you just put the cards in there. And you just ask, ¿Dónde está? It's a simple question that means, where is it? ¿Dónde está el abuelo? And just wait. You already know what abuelo means, right? So just wait for your child to see if he gets it. Abuelo, and he will get it. ¿Dónde está el niño? He will get it. ¿Dónde está la familia? He will get the flashcard. And then is when you are going to feel so empowered because you are doing it. It's that simple. You are doing it. Now, it requires discipline. You have to pick a day, pick a time that something already happens as a routine in your life, a certain time, and just grab that moment and add 5-10 minutes. That's it. And then is when you are going to be able to move forward. So that's it, my friend. This is my tip for today. Remaining disciplined to only speak Spanish. Now she says, this mommy says, only speak Spanish. So that means that she speaks Spanish. Then I will have the question, if it's only that, what is holding her back? If you speak the language and you need to remain disciplined to only speak to her in English, in Spanish. My next question will be, what is holding you back? You know Spanish, your child is 2.5 years old, you speak the language, why you don't do it? Why don't you do it? I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to her now. Because then it comes something is happening inside you because you desire to transfer the language and there is something just holding you that it doesn't let you to. Are you afraid of something? I remember one of my students, one of the moms, I teach a private lesson to her 2 little sons. She said, she also speaks Spanish, and she said, yep, I can speak to them all the time. And I asked her, why? Why is that? What's going on in her mind, in her heart that is kind of blocking? And she said, I'm afraid that they reject me. She was afraid that the children will reject her because of speaking Spanish. So there is something behind. If you speak the language and you don't want to do it, even though it's your dearest wish, there is something behind holding you back. For this specific mom was that she was afraid of rejection. She didn't want to be rejected from the children, push her away and everything. So then there is a deeper conversation that needs to go there to see why, what story she has in her mind, what has happened to her before, what has happened to her, maybe what has happened to her family, I don't know. So it's a matter of going inside your heart and remembering exactly what happened in your story, so you can break through. And you just say, well, one day, as my Colombian friend says, un día me pongo bien berraca y lo hago. Las que son I have another friend who is, she's from Puerto Rico, and she said, tengo que sacarme los jíbaras nomás de aquí para poder hacerlo. I don't know if you speak Spanish, you know what that means. There's a moment where you just say, well, this is going to be done, and that's it, right? Without asking permission to your children. Do you ask permission to your children when you are going to, put food at the table and they have to eat? Do you ask permission when they have to go to bed? Do you ask permission when you have to take them to the doctor and put some vaccines? No, right? It's something that it's not pleasant sometimes and needs some work, but it needs to be done. If the child says, I don't want to go to school, what do you say? Well, we will have to learn how we like the school, how we make the school like how we will make you to like the school, because we have to go. There is no option not to. If that is your goal, then you just have to find a way. Okay? Okay. So this is our question for today. For tomorrow, I have other questions from moms, and then I'll just take time like today, and then I will talk to you and see what you think about it. Thank you so much, Maggie, for sharing with us, your question and your concerns. You can learn Spanish, yes, but don't wait until you know the language to share with your children, because it is possible right now that you learn together at the same time, at the same pace. Okay? Un beso y un abrazo. If you are watching this later, type replay and tell me who you are and where you are watching from. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.